But like most children don't like to talk about sexual abuse with experience with their parents and people they love. You'll be wondering why. I realized I want encounter. I remember talking to a child who was sharing her experience of sexual abuse, and she kept crying. Promise me you will not tell my mom. Please don't tell my mom. And I was like, why? Why? But she kept crying and begging that that's just what she doesn't want the mom to be aware of what happened to her. So while parents try as much as possible to befriend their children, to talk to them, sometimes some children, because they do not know what kind of response to expect from their parents, whether their parents will be angry, whether their parents will shout on them, whether their parents will beat them up, they just prefer, okay, let mommy not even be aware. So that, because I don't know, then I don't know what will happen to me. You find that most cases of abuse are done by relatives, family, friends. And these relations are either relations of the father or relations of the mother. So the child's confusion is, if I tell mommy that daddy's brother, or if I tell mommy that her brother or her sister is molesting me, how will she take it? Will she beat me for it? Or will she blame the abuser? Will she report, if I tell her, will this case now be escalated and cause disunity in the family? So they are just confused and too scared. So they just really don't know. You know, a lot of parents they are becoming more aware about sexual abuse. But the concern is, how do I make my own child trust me? I've worked with children for years, and I can tell you for free that most times children prefer to tell some traumatic events to somebody other than their parents.
Yeah, sure.
You will go for sensitization, and a child will reveal certain things to you that when you tell the parent will be shocked. So now, as parents, what you have to do now is to look at the danger sign. Because your child will not expect to come and meet you and say, Mommy, Daddy, I have been raped, I have been sexually abused. But when you notice any change in behavior, you need to draw them closer. So a child who was lively suddenly becomes withdrawn. You need to take note of it. A child who was a talkative suddenly does not want to talk. Take note. A child who used to relate, who likes certain people, suddenly becomes scared of this person. You have to look at it. Even a relative that likes to visit when you are not around, when he knows that you or your mom is around, that is not, that's the time he likes to visit them. You have to watch out for it. Knowing that children most times will not like to talk to you as your parents. Now, it is your duty to look at signs. Many of us, you carried your child from the womb for 9 months. You knew your child even before he or she knew herself. You knew the child's behavior. You can predict to a large extent, this is how my child behaves if this is it. You have a child. There are children. I was telling my husband, I said, one of my son, then, if he's hungry or I offend him outside, he will not say anything. In fact, we will be as if not everything is normal. Yeah. When we come home, that's when he'll begin to display all the anger he has stored up in his heart. Then I'm talking about when he was 1-2 years old. But I realize even now that he's older, that's the same thing that happens. When he goes out and either he's bullied or something, he just keeps it in his mind. That's why most sometimes in school I have to go and meet them and say, my son has changed. What is happening? He keeps it in his mind. He will not respond. He will not react. Even if people are shouting, he will not. People are fighting, they're disorganized. He will not react. It's when he comes home. That's when he feels he's more comfortable. Yeah. That's when he will embody everything that has happened. That's when you may find him aggressive, shouting, overreacting over things that are not worth it. So please, let's look at the danger signs. That way will help us a lot.